Right, well, so we're back and I'm going to do an oil change. So I've got two really clean empty containers to drain oil and oil filter into, and then I've got my screen here which I'm going to run the oil through and see what I can find in there. So first thing, let's get under there and get this oil dropped. Very bloody windy, so it's going to make a mess, I reckon. So, wheel stands for safety, as always, and because I've got a power steering rack, I know my lighting's absolutely fucking shit. The last video I put out, you couldn't see anything. I don't know how to make this GoPro lighting any better, but anyway, I've got a power ram under there, and the only way to get that there sump plug out is I've got to have steering on full left lock. Yeah, the only way to get this sump plug out is to have the steering on full left lock. So I never have my sump plugs done up extremely tight. Never had a need to. And they've never leaked. A lot of people do them up so tight they strip. So I will drop the car back down on the ground and let it properly drain because it is slightly tilted to one side. And that wind is blowing everywhere. But anyway, this is the oil coming out. Let's just get a good look at that. She's a bit bloody windy. Right, so now I'll do my oil filter. I never do my oil filters super tight either. There's just no need. Oh, that wind's blowing the oil everywhere. I know. This is going to get more messy. I'm going to cut this oil filter open. Fucking wind. And we're going to open up and see. Oh, the fucking wind. Exactly. It's a fucking waste of time having that there. Right, oil filter's out, let's get you out. Got oily smudgy hands. I need to get me rag down. Sump bolt. Not lose my sump bolt. Most important. Yeah, I need to get this back on the ground so I can drain properly. Now let's get the oil filter over here and we'll just drain that into there and see what comes out, and then we'll cut her open. Righto worlds, this is a sit around and wait for about an hour or so before we go any further, so catch you later. Bye. I don't know if you can see. I don't know what you can see. I'm going to cut this oil filter open. Now it's a cobalt hacksaw blade, so it takes a bit to get going. Anyhow, so after a little bit of effort, we've managed to get the oil filter out. So, we've got the oil filter out. Now, remember we said about checking valve springs against my original ones? Well, Gary sent the heads home. He sent me home with the valves, but no valve springs. So I've got no valve springs to check against. to know the difference between the ones Gary put in or the ones that are on the head now. He sent me home with no valve springs. So I can't check old original for non-original. Now what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to cut some paper out. I'm going to cut out some paper from here. As soon as done, I wanted to do this. So this isn't quite working as well as it should. I do have a scalpel here. I wonder if that'll work any better. Hands are so oily. Alright, let's see if the scalpel works any better. This is like a surgical scalpel. Oh fuck yeah. Right. Right out. It's a fair whacker filter. Now what they did is they stuck it in a vise and they squeezed all the oil out of it. See? I'll do it long ways. That way I'd cover it all. So yeah, they just stuck it all in a vise like this and squeezed all the oil out of it, like I say. I don't know if you can see that there with the camera. I'm squeezing all the oil out of this filter. And I'm just going to let that drip. It's probably about enough out of it for what we want to do. Alright, let's go for the sunshine. So this GoPro light's pretty shit. It wasn't until I got inside and done the editing that I realised what you couldn't actually see. Sorry about that. So now what we do is we open this up and we look for anything that glitters or is gold. I mean, I should be working on a stainless steel table, but I'm working on a blanket. So, look at that. No, as I do cars would say, no forbidden glitter anywhere, clean as a whistle. That is a very clean oil filter. That's a fairly new oil filter. I think I put that on before I went to Mount Morgan or after I got back from Mount Morgan. Either way, I did an oil. This oil and filter isn't very old. It'll be in my notes somewhere. Barely a couple of 100 miles old, this oil and this filter, brand new. Rightio, so that's pretty good. That's a fairly good result. Now I've just got to pull the oils out from underneath the car, run them through that little bit of a strainery thing, and see if I find anything that I shouldn't be finding. So hang on. The engine oil into here through this. Actually, I just need to get that a little bit of a wipe. Rightio. So this is straight out of the sump cold, hasn't started for a week. So nothing really in this container, nothing forbidden, as I Do Car says. There's nothing in there that shouldn't be in there, apart from a little bit of grass and shit that was left over from me not cleaning the container properly. But there's no metal in there. Actually, what I might do is run a magnet through there and see what I pick up. Magnet's pretty strong. It'll pick up anything. So I've got my magnet here, and if there's any metal in what's left in the bottom of this oil, this magnet will pick it up straight away. And a little bit was already there anyway. Now we'll give a bit of a surf through. Nothing on there. Let's have a surf through here. Magnet. Nothing there. Nothing there that shouldn't be there. Magnet would have picked it up. So, clean bill of health. That's what I reckon. This motor's got a clean bill of health. Which means it's worth moving forward with. I might get under there in a minute and put my sun plug in. These magnetic tools, they're fantastic. There, I got that lifter out. You guys couldn't see it in the light, but I actually have 1, 2, 3 magnetic tools that all do different things. This one's actually got a claw. This one's actually got a claw on it and a light as well. I bought all 3 at the same time. Right, yeah, so what I might do now, as we've got a pretty clean bill of health, what I was going to do, I was actually going to pour petrol down in there and then blow it through with the aircon and basically flush the sump out. I've used petrol for washing motors down before and I never had a problem with it. It dries fairly clean and yeah, I don't have a problem with pouring a little bit of petrol down in there and then hitting it with the air duster and giving that a good blowout. And then it's assemble time, pretty much. So this is the big question, is this rubber seal here, can I do a good, this can't be reused, I certainly can't reuse that. But it never leaked, it was good, but as I pulled the cover off, it sort of pulled the seal out, so I've got a cut here. I might fill up the timing cover, it's grooved for elastic, then put a bit of elastic on here, so basically put it all on, put your mounting bolts on, do them up, then do your bottom bolts up and not overly tight, and it should seal up. So that's a pretty good plan to work on at the moment. But anyway, not moving the crank, that doesn't get moved again until it goes all back together. So just a matter of whether I flush some petrol through that sump, then aircon it out onto the ground to see what falls out, and then I can put the sump plug in and roll from there. So as far as I'm concerned, this motor's got a clean bill of health, and no, I can't check my valve springs because I didn't get any valve springs back with that motor, or if I did, I don't know where they are, but they're not where they're supposed to be. So righty welds, that's a short vid, and catch you all later. Bye. Righty welds, I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to pour some petrol in there and blow it out with the aircon with my air duster. Right or wrong, getting done. Got a nice long snorkel on my duster. As long as it doesn't fall off, I'm in good shape. Rightio, I'm going to let that dry itself out. Fair bit of mess came out on the ground. I'll roll the car back and see if I can find any things in there that shouldn't be there lying on the ground. Then I'll let it dry out for an hour or two, just let it all vaporise and just drip out. And then I'll put the sump plug in and call that part a day as well. And then it's all top end after that. So I suppose we should have had a quick look here in this oil as well. This is the oil filter oil, but this is probably not a good accurate because it runs down on the frame and everywhere else, so not really inaccurate. But no metal. That's the main thing. There's no real glitter in there. It's pretty damn good. But like I said, this is also very, very new oil. But the old oil wasn't bad at all, but didn't have any problems either. So, righto, well, so that's pretty much it for the day. Like I said, I'll just let it sit for another half an hour, go and have a cup of tea, come back, throw the sun plug in, and then I might just throw the rocker covers, just sit them on the top and dry me nice rag down in the valley there and down the front of the covers to stop shit blowing in there. And then work out whether I put the cam in and go to work, go to town on it. I guess I'll be reading quite a few comments tonight, which I've got no problems with. I think it's fantastic that you all say something. So, sun plug is done. I'll straighten the wheels up, roll it back. Come round, baby. There's a washer over here. I don't know where that comes from. Found a little washer on the ground. Not sure where that's from, but it's recent. Oh yeah, so this is the wash out of the car. It's hard to really tell, isn't it? Plus you're in the fucking... door's pretty clear. I think it's a case of nothing to see here, folks. So, rightio, so overall, I mean, that's, like I said, it's pretty new oil filter, but there was no metal filings in there, nothing in the oil filter or anything like that. Excuse me, nothing in the papers. So, engine's clean, good to go. Now it's just up to me on how I go about doing the assembly part. And you know, I've got no problems with flushing that sump out with petrol. I think it's a good thing to do. It'll just dry off, won't cause any problems as long as I put new oil in there before I even try and start it. Yeah, the next stage is really a head fuck for me right now. I am holding off. I mean, most other blokes have probably had that together and running already. I'm probably driving down the street already and haven't already broken and ready to go me. This is only the second time ever doing it, and it's all still new waters. I'm not really, you know, I'm not really 100% sure on what I'm supposed to do anyway. So, rightio, well, I'll catch you later, whenever later is. Bye.